Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. Ocarina of Fire here. Voice is still recovering from last weekend's Colts-Chief game, so bear with me. About to preview the NFC matchups for this weekend's divisional round of the NFL playoffs. So be sure to check out the AFC predictions preview down in the link below, and also leave it up floating above me. So be sure to check that out. But right now we have the NFC matchups, and the first game Saturday afternoon will be the New Orleans Saints going to visit the Seattle Seahawks. I feel this game's going to be very close. I don't think this game's going to be the blowout that many people think it's going to be. Rob Ryan, one of the best defensive minds, Sean Payton, one of the best offensive minds, already had a crack at these guys and got completely blown out. So they're going to throw everything they did then out the window and come in with a whole new game plan. And I expect them to be able to stop Seattle and be able to move the ball a little bit on Seattle. Seattle now, having already lost at home, isn't the unbeatable team that many people think they are. And they, quite frankly, they are not great at anything. They're very good on defense. They're very good running the ball, and they're very good passing the ball. But they're not outstanding. They are beatable in all three aspects. You know, Russell Wilson isn't going to put up huge numbers, but he's able to make plays. He's able to be average for an entire game, and then make 3 big plays, and then you're up 14. You know, Marshawn Lynch is able to keep chipping away, and then break that big run that breaks your back. You know, very good team at home, but I'm not one of these people who's buying into Seattle as like one of these great mega juggernauts. I mean, they're a very good team. They're very deserving of the #1 seed in the NFC, but I don't think they're going to be blowing anyone out, and I honestly think they're going to lose this game Saturday afternoon. New Orleans has playoff experience. You know, Russell Wilson had his run last year, but he isn't the grizzled vet that Drew Brees is. He's won a game on the road. He knows what it takes to win on the road now. That monkey's off his back, you know, off the schneid on the road. And I think that New Orleans is going to be ready for Seattle, both offensive and defensively. New Orleans knows what it takes to advance in the playoffs. They know what it takes to win a Super Bowl. And Pete Carroll does not quite yet. You know, I think the Seahawks are still a young team. They're still building. Percy Harvin may play, but even though they're healthy, I think New Orleans is going to go in there and get a win. You know, it might be unpopular. It might not be the sexy pick, but I'm not really buying Seattle as much, you know. If they kind of get lost under the shuffle because they play out in the West Coast, and people just see that record and think that they're this great team. But when you watch them closely, their flaws are very evident, and I think the Saints are going to be able to exploit on those flaws. You know, we all hear about the Legion of Boom and all that, but New Orleans does not rely solely on its edge receivers as much as some teams do. They use Jimmy Graham in the middle a lot. They use Darren Sproles coming out the backfield, and as good as Earl Thomas is, I don't think he's going to be able to match up well against Jimmy Graham or Darren Sproles coming out of the backfield. So, you know, there, I said it, New Orleans is going to get a win. They're going to win close, but I think they're going to get a win 31-27. Drew Brees solving the mystery that is CenturyLink Field, and they're going to get a win and advance to the NFC Championship game as a 5 seed. The late game, or the early game again on Sunday, will be the rematch, another rematch of the Carolina Panthers hosting the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco coming off their big win in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, the -5-degree weather. You know, Colin Kaepernick making plays once again with his legs. Frank Gore, you know, trying to chip away at that Packers defense, and Michael Crabtree just catching everything. You know, if I was jumping out of a building right now, I think I'd want him to catch me because he was catching everything last weekend. You know, that defense did a very good job bottling up Aaron Rodgers. He didn't even get over 200 yards passing for the game. And, you know, San Francisco came off a very good performance. You know, you got the Carolina Panthers. They're a young team. They're finally making that next step. They're going to be hot. The crowd's going to be hot, you know, because they haven't had really a playoff game in 5 or 6 years now, and last time they did, they got blown out by the Arizona Cardinals, so I'm sure that city of Charlotte is excited. Cam Newton's finally getting a crack at the playoffs after a magical season. They're the #2 seed, NFC South champions, excuse me. You know, their defense is balling, you know, with Hardy, with Kuechly, with all them guys. Steve Smith trying to get on the field, you know, after that PCL sprain a couple weeks back. He's trying to get out there because he knows this might be his last shot at a Super Bowl. So I'm sure the Carolina Panthers are excited. They're ready to make that next step. And I think they will. I think that defense is very good. I think they're very underrated. You know, we hear all about Cam Newton, we hear all about that, but that defense is one of the best defenses in the NFL. Luke Kuechly is very quickly becoming a household name, that he might be one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the NFL. So I think the Carolina Panthers will win this game. They've already stopped Kaepernick once. You know, that game a few weeks back was Kaepernick's worst as a professional starter. So I think they'll be able to duplicate that again at home. I think San Francisco has proven that they're able to win anywhere, but I think that the Carolina Panthers are riding a whole swing of momentum, and they're kind of believing in their self-wood with it, and they know what they can do. Cam Newton, I think, is going to be an X factor, being able to do to the 49ers what Kaepernick was able to do to the Panthers last week. And I think that the Panthers playing physical smash-mouth football, this game is going to be a bloodbath, similar to the Steelers-Ravens games we've seen in the past couple years. This game is going to be exciting to watch. I can't wait for it. I think this might be one of the best games of the weekend. And I think that the Carolina Panthers will edge the 49ers 21-18, and I think that they will be able to advance to the NFC Championship game. So I got one road team, the one that no one's expecting, and I got the home team that no one's really expecting, advancing to the NFC Championship game. So my final four then for the NFL will be Colts against Peyton Manning in a big rematch that everyone wants to see, and the NFC side will have a rematch for the NFC South of the Panthers hosting the Saints. So that's all I got. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it as always. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the AFC video below. You know, I kind of spilt the beans on what the final prediction will be, but be sure to check it out, see what's going to happen in both games. And as always, thank you all for watching. Ocarina of Fire checking out. Have a good night.